Hello everyone, welcome to the session of CodersTrust. Well, I am Tariq Mahmoud with you for the session, and before starting the main session, I just want to ensure that you are watching my screen properly. Okay, so whoever in the online just watching my session, you can just comment here. If you are logged in with your Gmail account, you can just comment here. uh, and I will check your comment if you have any problem to see my screen or to listen my voice also. Well, before starting, I just want to show something here, the settings. Before, just click on this settings icon here and choose the quality option and select 360 or 480 or 720, but not 240 or 144, because those are for low resolution. So if your option is selected to one of these, just change to the other one like 360. So at least try to option make it like 360 or wave up. I hope you know the settings properly. Okay, I'm just checking your comment if you have any problem to see my screen. Okay, no comments so far. I hope everything is going fine on your end. Well, if you have any issues, just you can comment here. I will check it regularly. And today's topic is about the CSS position properties, which is actually mostly misunderstood properties in the CSS. And the second one is we'll create a simple price packages UI like that. In many website you can see that there are some packages like basic, premium, gold membership like that. So we'll create some layout using CSS and HTML, and finally we'll beautify those layout using CSS3 animation. So I hope you'll enjoy the session, and we'll stay till the end. Okay, so before starting, just I'm checking your comment for the last time. Okay, no comment. I hope everything going fine. Well, so let's start our main session. So I'll create a div here. So as box. Well, for CSS, for the position, there are four properties. The first one is the static. Just writing here. The second one is uh, relative. Third one is absolute, and the final one is fixed. So those are for property for the position. By default, if you don't select or don't specify any position property, it is static by default. And other, actually you have to select it or you have to mention it here. And where the difference between those, so now I'll show one by one. So let's make a property here. So just creating the class box, and for box I'm just writing some CSS, like giving some weight 200 pixel, some height 100 pixel, background color like that, and finally just giving the position relative. Okay, so when the position is relative, the four property like the top, bottom, left, right, those property will work. If it is not the relative, if it is the static, that means which is by default, in that case actually those property will not work. So let's see the example here. So there is a red box, which position is now uh, relative. Now I will give some top and value here, like 100 pixel, and to left also 100 pixel. Okay, you can say it is now shifted just top 100 and from the left 100, but it is actually not shifted from the left screen. It is just shifted from its current position. That means where it is supposed to be stay here, and it is just staying from this current position. So if we want to understand the issue, we can make it right here, right 100 pixel. Okay. You can see it is just shifted by 100 pixels. That means it's supposed to be here, but it is just shifted from this 100 pixel right, not from this here. That means the right side of the screen. Just it is shifted from its current position. So it is the difference between the relative and absolute. We'll see how it will absolute work. So I'm just taking another dip, like the box one. Well, for box one, I will give some property like this. Just change the value to box one and return color black, position absolute, and top and right. See here. And I am just making those different so that actually can distinguish between those two boxes. Okay, so this is the box and this is the box one, and box is now the position relative, and for the box one the position is absolute. So let's see the difference. Though the top and right is the same here, so you can say that for the box one, that means which is now the position or relative, it is just shifted by 100 pixels from its current position. But for the other one, that means the box one, which position is now absolute, is just shifted from the screen, that means the right of the screen viewport, shifted from it, not the current position, because its current position should be here, but not, and it's just shifted from is the right position of the screen. So this is the main difference between the absolute and the relative. Now I will make another thing like box 2, which for the other property, the fixed. Okay, copy here, and also giving the same height, and I think this should be fixed. And background color like oh, and side like 100 and 200 also. Well, I'm just making bottom 100, sorry, 0, and to right 0. So we want to make it like in the corner, that means right 0 and the bottom 0. So it should stay in the corner, right bottom corner part of the screen. And for to understand it, I'm just making the height longer, like 700 pixels. Okay, so just want to make this box full. Where is the box? Oh, not should be right here. I should be here 700. And let's trim out the right trim now. Okay, so you can see the red is now position relative, the black is now in position absolute, and the blue is in the position fixed. And it is the fixed and the top, sorry, sorry, bottom right corner, because the position is the right 0 and the bottom 0. That means the from the right side it is 0 and from the bottom side it is 0, so it stays in the corner. Now I'm just scrolling the screen. You can see, though other two actually boxes are uh, moving on the scrolling, but you can see the last one, that means the position fixed, is not actually changing, or its position is just staying fixed. That means we are just scrolling here, but the position fixed is now stays on its current position, so it is not changing with the scroll. So this is the main difference between the fixed and other position. So we have just discussed the relative, absolute, and the fixed. So I hope you have understood the difference between those position property. Okay, just checking your comment if you have any comment. Okay, no comment. Hopefully you are understanding everything properly. So this about the position property. Now I'll go for the second part of our session, which is about the creating price package UI. So I'll just remove those sort of coded and make some, yeah, okay. And I'll take a div class packages, and between each packages there will be some class, like each package. Okay. And within each package there will be uh, some content like the package title. You can use the h1. You can like the basic and the price. So for the price I can give the h2 and like 30. And there will be some features also. So I can use the h3 features. And finally there will be some feature list here. So I'm just assuming that this is the packages for the hosting. So some hosting like that, 1 GB space, and 10 GB bandwidth. I'm just providing some demo value actually. 1 GB disk space, 10 GB bandwidth, 5 MySQL DB, and email account, one domain. So this is the basic, and finally, just I'll give a button. Uh, just pass like okay. So this is a basic markup. I can just you can see there's a basic 30 features and the order now. This is just basic layout. I created a more fancy here. So there will be actually 3 packages. So in the basic, another can be like premium, and we can just the final one is gold. So you can see this out just after another. Now I'll make those more perfect. So for packages, I'll make it in the center of the screen. So for packages, margin 0 to make it center, doing some white like 300 pixel. And for each package, that means those are I want to make in the same line. So we want to give some white. Can we just white like 250 pixel? So left so that all are in the same line here. You can see now it's perfect in the same line, and this are 250 each. And I can give some margin so that actually there are some spaces between those packages. Margin right like 50 pixel. Well, now I'll give some background color for each type of the package, and I will use the flat UI colors. You can use those color also, flatUIcolors.com, and I'm choosing one of the color for the basic. For basic, I'm just choosing a color, this one. Well, I will use the different classes for those color purpose. Just for basic, a basic and premium. And finally, this should be called. So for basic, the background color should be like this one. I have already copied. And for other like premium, for premium I'm using it like this one. Yes, this one. And finally for the code, I use this one. So let's see the colors like, yeah. You can see these three colors now applied for the three different packages. For basic, there is a class I've already created and used for the first one. And for the second one, I use the premium. And for the last one, I use the code. And for these three classes, I just provided three different color. Now I'll do some styling for this basic and this one. So for basic, I just want to make it the center, and the text color should be the white. So for this purpose, I'm just typing body. Just color for everything in the document here. Okay. And for this one, I just want to make it the center. So what I will use this, that means the H1. So the H1 under each package should be text element center. So I can like this one. Each package, each one, the color actually, the text element center. And I also can give the font size bigger. I think it's fine now. Okay. Now for the price, I'll make it actually some circle. So for this price, for the price I have used H2 tag. So I can trace it using this H2 like. And for creating a circle, there is a formula that means which can be used to make a circle. So the height and width should be same, and the border radius should be 50%. So the height like 100 pixel, the width 200 pixel, background color can be like black, and the border radius 50%. We can see the height 200 and the width 200 same, and the border radius 50%. So now it should be circle, yeah, or it's circle. And I just want to make it the some margin left so that it is the proper space. We can give some margin left here. 25 pixel. Okay, so now it is perfectly placed. And also I'll increase the font size because I can see the size is not perfect. So can give the font size like 72 pixel. It's very much large. Yeah, that's, and you can see actually the price should be in the center, so I'll give some padding top 50 pixel. Yes, after giving the padding top, the circle now turns to something like the shape of the egg. So it should be because the height now increased because the height is 200 pixels and the padding top 50. Actually, the padding top or bottom is added to the height. That means now the height equals to 250, but the width is 200. So to adjust it, we have to make it 150 also. So now it is 200. So now it's perfect. You can see the height are same here. Okay, and I can also give some styling here for features. So for the features, I have used the UL. So it is UL with none. Also for each, there is some history. You can make it history for the title. So it should be text in center. Okay. And the font size should be larger. 40 pixel. Okay. And I will make some border here for UL list item. So LI border bottom 1 pixel solid color, and I can give some height also like 30 pixel. And also I'll remove the default padding and margin for the UL. You know that for UL there is some default value for the padding and margin. So I'll make just creating those zero. So the default now are removed here. You can see here those are in this, and also I can make the text element center. You know, it's perfect. And I'll reduce some spacing. You can see there are larger space. So for spacing, I can just remove here in the H1. Margin bottom just pixel. Also padding bottom to pixel. I assume it is not working properly. Ah, yeah, it's working. So I think it's getting from the another thing here. It's getting from the H2. So for H2, I have to make it margin top lesser. Expand it over here. Okay. Well, now it's perfect. And finally, I'll style the order now button here. So for order now, I have a plus here, this one, and I'll make some styling for the order now also. For order now, I just want to give some color also from the UI colors. I'm just taking the color. So background color is one, and spread log 1.0 auto, make it center, and I can be like artificial, and center, and the color is going to be, I think, yeah, and you can make it white also because it is anchor, and the text decoration should be none. We have used the anchor link here. So by default for the anchor there is some text decoration, so we have to remove it. Yeah. So now the order button is fine, and I can just give some padding to and 5 pixel. And also the font size can be increased to make it more clear here, like 24 pixel. Okay. So the basic layout is created now. You can see this is the basic title and the price and the features of the packages, and I have used the UL, and finally there is a button to make order for the each package here. Now I'll beautify those things actually using CSS3 animation. Just before that, I just want to ensure that you are here with me without any problem. Okay, I hope you have no problem to see my screen. So these three packages are created. I hope you have understood the code. I just try to make it as simple as possible. If you still have any problem in any short of code, you can just comment here. I'll try to clarify it. So finally, I'll make some animation here using CSS3. So whenever hover on each package, that means, for example, I'm just taking the mouse on this premium, and it will be larger. So I can create it using the animation of CSS3. So each package, I list the transition is 1 second, and is in is the name of the transition effect is in, and 1 second is the duration of the transition, and when the transition occurs, just on the hover. So on hover, I'll make some just it should be one, but yeah. On hover, there will be some transform. So transform scale, it will be larger, so we can make it like 1.2. That means it will be larger to its current position by 1.2 times. So I can say that one. Yeah, you can see now it is larger when it is hover by 1.2. I think 1.2 is very much larger. I can make it 1.1. Okay. And whenever I just hover any of them, so it's working fine. So it's the is scaling the whole div, that means each package div, by 1.1, that means the current size is multiplied by 1.1, and this is the transition. Also, I can make another fancy thing like whenever hover, I just want to rotate this price here. So how will I make it here? So for price, I have used, let me check, I have forgotten it. This is the H2. So for H2, yes, this one. So for H2, I'll give some transition also. Transition, 1 second, is in. Well, when the each package will hover, this H2 will change to something else. That means it will rotate here. So just making this H package H2 transform. Now I'll rotate it. So for rotating by 360 degree. Okay. So when each package on hover, that means the whole package, the I mean the deep, on this hover on the deep, the H2 will change to but rotate here. So let's take it here. So you can see, and I just hovering this, and this is rotating. So two operations actually are running here. The first one is the TV is scaling by 1.1 of its current position, and the price is rotating by 360 degree. So it's now fine here. Okay, so just use two line of code using the CSS3, which is very powerful to make such animation. Also, this about today's session. I hope you have enjoyed the session. If you have any questions, you can just ask here. Well, I will complete the session shortly. So if you have any question, you can just ask here. Meanwhile, I just want to say something about the coder trust because some newcomers are here in the session. So for this concern, I want to uh, say something about those. Well, CodersTrust basically a Denmark-based IT company which is working for IT skill development in many countries like Bangladesh, India, Bhutan, Malaysia, Kosovo, Kenya, and the main purpose of the CodersTrust is not only providing the IT training, also make them eligible to work in the international marketplace like the Upwork, Freelancer.com. So the quality should be ensured that actually what they are learning, it should be learned properly and also implemented in the field of this marketplace properly. That should be actually ensured by the Coder Trust. And there is a support team of the Coder Trust actually which will support when the students will start working in the marketplace after completing the course successfully. So it is important to ensure that the students are getting the training properly and also practicing and doing everything. So Kurata is actually observing everything properly until they start earning. So it's just not giving the training and forget everything. So Kurata actually would work with the students until they start earning and make them actually self-dependent in the marketplaces. You can see some success stories of the students of Coder Trust which who are actually started earning already in the marketplaces. And there are basically courses for web development and the front-end development for 4 months, full stack for 7 months, and Android development also. And beside those, and there is some soft skill, that is like how to write a good proposal, negotiation with the clients, and client handling everything. So actually, I learned everything related to the project here. And if you have any other questions or like the payment issues or class schedules, you can just ask in the support here. Click on the support and you can ask here. Also, you can send email or send a message to the Facebook official page of the Coder Trust. Okay, I'm just checking for the last time if you have any comment here. Okay, no comment. I have understood everything here. And whoever joined later for their concern, just you can refresh the URL when I will complete the session, and you can see the whole session from the beginning. That means the whole session is recorded in the same URL. So don't worry if you have missed any section of the session. So I hope you'll review this session completely again if you have any problem to understand any line of code. Okay, so take care for today. This is our session. I hope you'll attend regularly on other session also. So take care. Good night. Bye.